What's up, PokePals, and welcome back to another set showcase with me, Jack, aka the Miendoge. Last time I was here, I showed off Assault Vested Metagross, which is a fun Pokemon to use in OU, and it counters all the nice fairy types. But anyway, that's not important right now, because right now we're going from OU, dropping all the way down to NU to use what's actually technically a PU Pokemon. We're going to be looking at Leafeon. Now, Leafeon is an evolution introduced in Gen 4, and it's one that not many people use just because of its bad typing grass. Plain grass is obviously a really, really bad type. 5 weaknesses of pretty common types like fire, flying, bug, poison, and ice are your 5 weaknesses. And those are types that are used really often right now. So it struggles because of that, because now let's just take a glance at this thing's stats. 130 defense. 110 attack, 95 speed. Now those are stats, like those 3 stats right there are really, really good, especially in NU, which is where I think obviously this would be the most viable. So going from there, we can see our EV spread is to make the most use of that. We're going to go for max speed, max attack, because this is going to be a sweeper rather than a pure support or defensive set. From there, we are going to be running leftovers, however, just because you're going to get chipped a lot as you set up and baton pass or sweep. So leftovers are going to be there to help you. You don't want to take life or recoil because of, the chip damage you'll be taking. So leftovers are going to help you out a lot. The ability isn't that important just because they both require sun to be up, which I don't plan. At least I don't. If you want to, chlorophyll is still going to be the better option. If your opponent has the sun up, chlorophyll will be the better option as well, just because you can knock out opposing chlorophyll sweepers, because Leafeon is faster than most chlorophyll sweepers. In fact, I think it's faster than like basically all of them. But that's not important right now. Let's move on to the moveset. So, Sword Stance and Baton Pass are obviously going to make the key points of this set. Sword Stance is going to let you boost your attack to just massive levels. You're going to go from 319 to over 600, which is obviously massive. Not many things want to take knockoffs, or especially a Leaf Blade at that range, so that's definitely pretty spooky. And if you can get a better matchup, or you're afraid Leafeon's going to get knocked out, you can Baton Pass out to something with a better matchup against your opponent. So that's really the main points of the set. Leaf Blade is there just because Stab is obviously going to be great. Knockoff is there for type coverage, and just because Knockoff is obviously an amazing move. So Baton Pass in addition can be used to what's called dry passing, which is where you just Baton Pass before even getting boosts, so that then your opponent will, if you force a switch, your opponent will switch out, and then you can get initiative onto what you bring in. It's like U-turn without hitting them, which it has many uses, and it can be used pretty effectively if you can predict well. Now, things you're going to be wanting to set up on are things like Golurk, Primeape, Electivire, kind of, if they're not running max speed, Jolly, because then you'll just speed type. But anyway, things like that. Physical threats that aren't fire type or flying. So obviously you don't want to set up on Swellow, but most other physical types, Leafeon can take a couple hits from and get some SVs up, and then either sweep or Baton Pass. So that's Sword Stance Leafeon, in a nutshell. So from here, I want to look at some other Pokemon that it works really well with, so you can form an effective core to build around, or just give you some ideas of a core of your own you might want to build this Pokemon around. So Weezing is used on every NU team just because it is so good. It's ridiculously good for NU. It doesn't belong there. It's got that crazy defensive typing, only 1 weakness, all those nice resistances. It's got a great move pool: Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Flamethrower, Pain Split. Having Will-O-Wisp is obviously just amazing. From there, you're going to want to pair it with Lantern, because these two can cover all of Leafeon's weaknesses. You're going to run a nice and supportive pivot set with Volt Switch, Scald, Thunder Wave, and Heal Bell, running especially defensive to pair well with Weezing. So that's actually forms a really nice core. You can pivot out with Volt Switch out to Leafeon or whatever to get nice free switches. Pivoting is obviously always great. Scald is there for burns. Thunder Wave is there to slow down faster threats like Sneasel that would normally trouble Leafeon quite a bit, but then if they're paralyzed, obviously you can outspeed and body them. Heal Bell is there to support Leafeon or any member of your team, really, if they get statused and you need to get that off of there. Now, the next component of this team is, what would you want to Baton Pass out to? Now here's an interesting Pokemon that I like to run with Baton Pass Leafeon, and that is Floatzel. Now, Floatzel is a PU Pokemon, again introduced in Gen 4. We got the Gen 4 power going on right now. And we can look at its stats and we can see that its defenses are garbage, basically, unfortunately. But its attack and speed are really, really good for NU, especially. And its Move Pool, Waterfall, Aqua Jet, Crunch, and Ice Punch are obviously give you really good coverage. And what really separates this, in addition to just being a nice water type, that makes it good to Baton Pass out to, is its ability of Water Veil. Now what Water Veil does is prevents this Floatzel from being burned. So now when I see a Leafeon that I think is going to try to step on me, my first instinct is going to be go out to my Weezing, right? So and then fire off a Will-O-Wisp to burn it and shut it down. So when they try to do that, or they have like a Torkoal out or something, or anything that wants to Will-O-Wisp you, you Baton Pass out, go into Floatzel, you can't be burned, and then you're set up there with a +2 Life Orb Floatzel, which obviously is really spooky. So you can also run other Pokemon like a Sneasel, Gallade. Basically, Sneasel especially, you really want faster Pokemon, really fast Pokemon that wouldn't really have an opportunity to set up, because Pokemon like Floatzel and Sneasel are obviously quite frail. So them setting up is obviously never going to happen, but they have the speed and attack to sweep with those boosts. So that's what I would highly recommend you pair Leafeon with, but of course it's up to you. So if you enjoyed, I hope you'll sub to PokePals. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it as well. And I'd encourage you to comment sets you'd like to see me showcase in a future episode. Some really interesting sets I'd love to see, whatever you guys think is like really should be shown off more than what we're seeing right now in whatever meta that Pokemon will be in. In addition, my channel will be in the description. I hope you'll check that out. I do lots of Showdown stuff. And in addition, I'm doing a Let's Play of Heart Gold, but that's enough plugging for myself. I will be back next time for another showcase, so I hope you guys will be there. And I will see you next time. Until then, bye.